What's up everyone, my name is Garrett Blackwood, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I've got some big news to share. We'll be checking out some of the biggest pots I played this year, and I'll be breaking down my results from my most recent trip to America, talking about poker in general in 2024, and setting some big goals for 2025. So without further ado, I want to share with you guys that I've just been signed up by a poker website as a content creator. As of right now, I'm officially part of the team at Full Tilt Poker. That's right, I'll be teaming up with your favorite pros like Phil Ivey, Howard Lederer, Chris Ferguson, and all the boys. Just kidding, of course. I'm really happy to be joining the team over at Coin Poker. Now, over the last couple of years, I've turned down a lot of things like dodgy sponsorships, payments for posting slot links. There was even a guy that offered to fly me to Spain to look after his dog for a few days. That's a true story. And I've turned them all down. I only want to attach my name to something that I believe to be reputable, and I'm happy to do that with Coin Poker. There's a lot of advantages to playing on a site like Coin Poker. You can play from anywhere in the world. You can use crypto. They've got their proof of reserves, which proves that everyone's money is safe. I've been playing there for a few months now. The games are good. The player pool is growing. Like I say, really happy to be part of the team. What's more, I'll be running some free rolls at the end of January for anyone who signs up using my code GAZYB. I am personally guaranteeing $1,500 worth of free roll prize money. So sign up using code GAZYB to be in with a chance of playing the free rolls. All right, onto some poker action now. And today I'm going to be reviewing the 10 biggest pots from my most recent trip to USA. I've got to tell you guys, I'm really sad it's over, but really happy because today, 10 minutes before starting this video, I have booked flights to go back in February. I'm really excited. I'll be running it back. And what's more, on the 17th of February, I'm going to be in Austin, Texas for a meetup game at the Lodge. I'll be playing with Brad Owen, Andrew Neem, and all the crew from the Lodge. So if you're in town, definitely drop in and say hello. The Lodge Championship Tournament Series is also running at the same time. I really hope to see a bunch of you in Texas. Meetup game, first ever one. I'm really excited to play it. All right, let's break down some hands now, starting off at the Aria in Las Vegas. This is from a 24-hour session that I played. I vlogged the whole thing. It was epic. We're playing in a crazy 5, 10, 20 game. I'm about 19 hours into this session. I can barely see my cards, and I'm in the $40 straddle with ace queen. A tight non-pro has limped in under the gun, and the loosest goose of all time, who is just about to leave for dinner, makes it $200 to go. It folds all the way around to me in the $40 straddle, and versus this guy, my ace queen is basically pocket aces, so I put in the re-raise here. I make it $800 to go. Action is back on the original raiser, who says, okay, let's do it, and moves all in for around 2.1k. Now, I definitely want to isolate this guy with my ace queen, but I think I should have gone $700 pre-flop. Splitting hairs though, because I've got what I wanted. He's moved all in. I, of course, make the call. He's got Jack 9 of clubs. Before we see the runouts, a couple of things. Let's give a shout out to the world's fastest dealer you're about to see. He's absolutely rapid. Secondly, I normally pick up the phone and record the all-in and stuff, but this dude was losing a lot of money, so I felt like it was a bit dickish to start like film the run out, so I didn't do it. But we're all in here. This pot's worth around $4,500. Let's see if we can hold and scoop it. Let's scoop it. Very nice pot coming my way. Like I say, this session was insane. 24 hours is a lot of fun. I'm maybe going to run it back in February. I'm undecided, but if there's any Vegas vloggers out there watching this right now that want to run it back with me, I think that would be incredible. So get in touch if you're down to play 24 hours in Vegas this February. All right, coming in at number 9, we're at the Hustler Casino playing 5, 5, 10. The straddle is on today, and I've got King 10 of hearts in the low jack. I raise it on up to $50. The small blind makes the call, and the big blind is HCL legend J Boogs. Played with him a few times. Lovely guy. He comes down onto the floor and splashes about a little bit. This is his first of 2 appearances in the top 10 today, and he's going to put in the raise to $200. Suited Broadway in position. Good price. I'm not going anywhere. I make the call. Small blind calls as well. We go 3 ways to the flop, and it's a pretty decent 10-3-3 with 2 spades. J-Boogs is going to see bet for $225. Easy call for me, of course. Small blind gets out of the way, and we turn a full house. It's another 3. And my opponent is going to keep blasting. He bets out for $400. I am mindful of the fact that he could have overpairs, but he's also fully capable of bluffing in this spot. So I call the turn with the intention of just calling it off on most rivers. But another 10 rolls off, and I am in absolute dreamland. Really, really nice river, just to take all the sting out of the occasion, essentially. After about 20 seconds, he moves all in. After about 0 seconds, I call. What's more, he immediately says, you're good. When he shoves, he could have a hand like ace 10 or queen 10 or something like that. But he's just like, yeah, you're good. He's got ace deuce of hearts for the stone cold bluff. And I win a $4,500 pot. I obviously didn't need the river card, but like I say, it made life a whole lot easier. Number 8 on the list is one of the most insane hands of the whole trip, also from the Hustler Casino floor. The game is 5-5-10, but there's an $80 straddle this hand. And yep, you guessed it, I'm the one doing the $80 straddle. A buddy of mine has shoved blind from the middle blind. He's moved all in for $1,500 without looking at his cards, and then the $20 straddle has reshoved. The $20 straddle has got King 10 offsuit here versus a blind shove. I think his reshove is totally fine. I haven't even looked at my cards yet, excited to do so. We have a sweat.
Yes.
Do you prefer once or twice? Sorry.
No, he hasn't.
I like he hasn't even decided.
Yeah, I know.
Since I haven't seen my hand, I
Call.
won't go twice.
Oh no.
I'm not looking to the river.
Turn him. I call.
I'm not looking to the river.
Oh man. Fuck, I have one over.
One over?
Yeah, you can sweat. I'm not gonna show you. No, don't show me. I'm a good sweat.
How do you wake up with jacks?
Nice and slow, dealer.
Oh, I got there. That was me.
Oh.
No, that wasn't me.
How do you just have King 10? Pain on the turn. The blind shover has actually got pocket fives. I survived the flop, but couldn't hold, and this $4,500 pot is not going my way. Over the course of the trip, I ran really well in the 5-5-10 game, so I can't complain if the poker gods decide to let someone else win a big pot in this game for a change. All right, number 7 on the list features my man J-Boogs again, and once again, I'm in the cutoff. This time I've got pocket nines. $20 straddle is on again. I'm raising on up to $50 again, and just like the last hand, J-Boogs is putting in the re-raise here, and again, he's making it $200 to go. Deja vu here. Not going anywhere with the pocket nines. I go ahead and make the call, and the flop is a beautiful 10-9-3 with 2 spades. Absolute dreamland here, as we've both got about 2.5k to start the hand, and he's also very aggressive. He bets out for $200 on the flop, and I want to keep all of his like ace king and stuff in, so I don't raise, I just make the call. A great flop, but a nasty jack of spades on the turn. Lots of hands get there, hands like straights, flushes, all that stuff, but when the bet comes in, it's only for $400. I'm of course not doing anything else other than calling. I go ahead and make the call. Great flop, terrible turn, beautiful river. It's a board pairing jack to give me a full house. Now I'm really hoping that he did in fact turn a better hand than me on the flop. He's gonna check it on over to me on the river, and I've only got one option. I fake tank for a little while, and then I move all in. He immediately like, oh, so sick, blah, blah, blah. It was really quite funny. I was sitting there trying not to laugh. Ryan Feldman actually comes across, the producer of HCL, and is like sweating the hand and stuff like that. I asked Boogs if I can see his cards. He's actually got ace king of spades, and to be honest, when he shows me that, I know he's not folding. He definitely shouldn't fold. I'm going to shove all my worst flushes and stuff. I'm probably going to shove, like, if I've got a jack somehow, like queen jack or something like that, I would maybe consider going for some like 6th in value or something like that. But after a while, he does of course make the call. $5,065 pot with a full house. Nasty cooler for my opponent, but a really nice pot coming my way here. This is the first time all trip that I called a 3-bet and flopped the set. I had called so many in so many normal spots. I just bricked out every time, so it was nice to like flop a set and get paid. Yeah, it was beautiful. Okay, number 6 on the list is a very weird hand. Again, at the Hustler, we're playing 5, 5, 10, 20 short-handed, and I've been spewing a little bit in the build up to this hand. I'm happy to say that out loud. I've got pocket queens here in the $20 straddle. The button is a very aggressive reg in the game. He's going to raise it on up to $80. And then the tightest non-pro of all time makes it $280 to go. I cannot stress to you guys how tight this guy's been playing. Now we're like 5.5k effective with the 3-better to start the hand. And I cannot stress to you how tight this guy's been playing. What I'd like to see myself do here is cold 4-bet and then just fold if he shoves. I decided to make a very rare cold call of the 3-bet, just worried about how tight that he had been. But yeah, in hindsight, like to see myself cold 4-bet and then just fold versus a 5-bet. Interestingly enough, though, the button is going to put in the 4-bet. He makes it 1.1k to go. This is a pretty big 4-bet, but I don't begrudge him this, given the action that's facing him. Kind of happy to see the other player get out the way. Action is back on me here, and we're like 2.7, 2.8-ish with the guy to start the hand. Like I say, he's very aggressive. He can have hands like aces and kings for sure, but lots and lots of hands that I'm ahead of. So it's a very weird line to cold call the 3-bet and then back raise 5-bet jam, but that's what I do. And when I do so, I fade the snap call. That's always good. He sits back in his chair, he shakes his head, he smiles, and then he flicks in the call. I think he's got ace king when he acts like that, but he's actually got pocket jacks. I'm in amazing shape here, running it twice, 2 clean runouts away from a huge pot coming my way.
Jacks? I got 10. Huh? 10. 10? Yeah, I got 10.
got that spade too.
Two four.
Two full boards, yeah.
Two four.
All boards.
You get an 8 for split. Alright, let me get a 9. He probably did.
So happy to hold twice here. He actually turned a gut shot the second one. It would have been pretty sick if he'd gotten there. My opponent taps it. It's late in the day. My opponent taps the table at the end of this hand. I've got him covered. So I've got to amalgamate his massive chip stack with my chip stack. It was a huge pot in terms of the number of chips. My shoulders were absolutely burning by the end of it. Talk about first world problems. Okay, on to our 5th biggest pot of the trip now. We're playing live at the Commerce, buying in for $10,000. We're playing the stand-up game. Only a few players left. I am one of them. Let's pass it over to the boys in the booth for this one.
I did.
Oh yeah. I've done a lot of
Snipe it.
Chips.
And after that, I played a lot of golf. Yeah. High level golf. Yeah.
So, three-way.
Sorry.
Gazzy's got to be missing a stand-up piece.
Oh yeah. Oh, he has a hand to try to find it too.
Gotta have something competitive to do, right? Yeah. Check.
7 check, 8 check.
Oh, Gazzy might check. Yeah, I think Gazzy's gonna check raise this. Pretty nice hit combo to go for that with, I think. So the board is, I believe, ace 6 deuce 4. Yeah, ace 6 4 deuce.
Is that a hard
There
draw?
it is. Here comes the raise. See how Jared responds. Jared also does have the tray
Right.
blocking the straight. Does call.
And Jared and Gazzy know each other well. I was talking with them beforehand.
Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what he does. Definitely an interesting spot theoretically for Gazzy to just bet big here, represent 2 pair plus. Yeah, I think just this combo in theory is just like pretty nutted for going for it here. There he goes. It's like about to be 125 or so.
Yeah.
I feel like you have nothing, but
Jared.
Jared declares feels like you have nothing. KG Live Pro trying to get a read.
Yeah. Now, Jared's got some live reads too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Oh, he gets it through.
wait, keep the board there. Almost. Could have been. Yeah.
Nicely done, Gazzy.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah, I think that was.
Very nice. Thank you. Come on, man.
Somehow getting this bluff through my buddy Jared is great fun to play with. He takes it really well, and I am safe from the stand-up game with this pretty sick overbet bluff on the river. For number 4, we're going to have to go all the way back to the very first day of the trip. We're playing 10-20 at the Commerce Casino. Game was pretty tough, but I was fresh off the plane and ready to battle. For this hand, the $40 straddle is on. I've got 7-6 of diamonds in the hijack. The low jack is raised to $100, and I decide to 3-bet. I make it $320 to go. The button is an unknown player, USA fella, probably early 30s. He's going to cold call my 3-bet, and the original raiser is going to get out the way. We go heads up to the flop. It is King 9-8 with 2 hearts. I've got the open-ended straight draw working for me, and it's a decent board in theory for my range. So I decide to see bet here. I bet out for $280. I'm not overly surprised to see my opponent make the call, to be honest. Turn is the 3 of clubs, 2 flush draws on board now, and I decide to bet again, this time for $850 for 2 reasons. 1, I've got the straight draw, and 2, I unblock all the pocket jacks, pocket tens type hands that might start folding the turn now. My opponent is going to make the call again, and my plan is to shove if I improve, check if either flush gets there, and shove if a non-flush card hits. The river is the 9 of spades. Now, my hand hasn't improved, but I do have a really nice candidate to triple barrel here. I unblock so many hands that can call twice and then have to just fold. Hands like ace jack of hearts, ace queen of clubs, all the jack 10 combos. And as mentioned, there's lots of hands like jacks and tens that might just go ahead and fold the river. Now, I've got a really nice unblocker bluff jam here, which is going to get called. He's got ace king. I did not expect him to cold call that. I certainly wouldn't expect him to fold that on the river. A bit disappointed, to be honest. I think my bluff is super sexy. I've just been trapped nice and good. 7.5k pot going the way of my opponent. Yeah, nice answer. Our 3rd biggest pot is back under the bright lights. I'm playing 50-100 at the Commerce with the stand-up game being on pretty much all night. A huge game, but I am absolutely living for it. I'm heads up in the stand-up game, need to win a pot or I'm going to lose $1,600. Now, the cameras have missed the beginning of this hand. Tan is raised in the hijack. I have re-raised King 10 offsuit in the cutoff. Not standard, but heads up in the stand-up game, it's totally fine, I think. Tan defends, and we see the flop come down ace-6 for rainbow. I see bet for a small size. He makes the call. My plan is to give up on the turn unless I pick up equity, and the queen of spades does just that. The cameras are on us here as I put in the second barrel, this time for 3.2k, setting up for a river jam if I want to. This is going to force out all of the 6-5 suited, the pocket 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks, all those types of hands. Unfortunately for me though, he's got top pair. He is going to make the call. I am looking for some help on the river, needing a miracle jack, and unfortunately it's a 4. I decide not to try and get this guy to fold top pair. I just wave the white flag, check it on back, losing a 13.1k pot, all because I got a little out of line because of the stand-up game, and then picking up that equity on the turn. I'd look like a god if he has pocket 7s on the turn and just folds it, but nope, he's got ace jack. Nice hand. On to our second biggest pot of the trip now. We're playing under the lights at the Commerce Casino again. Just gonna lift this one straight from the vlog that was released. Take it away, Vlog Gazzy. Maybe these pocket 4s in the cutoff will do the job. I raise it on up to $250, and Tan puts in the re-raise on the button. He makes it $800 to go. Gonna blur his whole cards out for this one. Let's have some fun. I decide to make the call. Remember that hand earlier where I called the 3-bet with Jack 10 suited and was able to just check it down out of position? That's kind of playing into my thoughts here. Some players will put you in a really tough spot when they've got hands like ace king and ace queen, but this player is more likely to just check down his ace highs, so we get to showdown more easily with our marginal pairs. So I do make the call here, going heads up to the flop. What's that word that golfers shout when they hit a bad shot? 4! Let's go. Big flop here. My opponent c-bets for $800, and you can for sure make an argument for just always raising here, especially given the read that we've got. But just in case he's got a random hand here, I go ahead and make the call. The turn is an ace, which might kill my action versus his like jacks and queens type hands, but he's not slowing down. He bets again, this time for 2.6k. I am salivating as I fake tank here. No flush draw on this board, so no reason to like raise or shove or anything like that. Just always calling and letting him do his thing. The river is a queen, and if he's got king jack, then do you know what? I'm just gonna pay him his money and say nice hand. I still really want him to shove here for my last 6k, and sure enough, he does stick it in. I snap him off. What's he got? He's got ace 9 of hearts for a top pair. No good versus my 3 of a kind. And this pot worth $20,000 is being pushed on over to me. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Poker is sometimes really hard. Sometimes it's really easy. This hand, it was just really easy. You call a 3-bet, you flop a set, you get paid. Note to self, in 2025, flop more sets and 3-bet pots. All right, here it is. The biggest pot I played this whole trip. It's $23,000. And like all massive pots, it starts off with a couple of limps. That's right, the stand-up game is making these very good pros try and see some cheap flops. Before I look down at ace queen of diamonds in the small blind, I raise it on up to $700. Now, I am safe from the stand-up game, but Magoo is next to act. He is not yet safe. He's in the $100 straddle. He puts in the re-raise. He makes it $2,000 to go. Now, we're 115 big blinds deep here, and I'm for sure not folding. Question is, do we want to just go ahead and shove, or do we want to call and see a flop? Shoving is not standard in this spot. I would normally always call, but given the meta of the stand-up game, I lean towards shoving here. Magoo is not a nit. I've seen him put in 10k with all sorts in the stand-up game. He's going to be 3-betting really wide. He needs to win a button. Yeah, I lean towards just shoving here and denying equity and just taking down a couple of $1,000s really often. So I do move all in. As we can see, he's got pocket jacks. He's not folding. Sure enough, he does make the call. A big flip. $23,000 to the winner of this hand. And there's a queen in the window. Unfortunately for me, there's a jack right behind it. My brain does that thing when it sees the jack of, that's it, I'm dead. Wait, maybe the turn card can give us some hope, only for my opponent to just turn quads. Absolutely disgusting. As we say in Scotland, it's the hope that kills you. I don't mind losing this massive flip. I can't control it, but the queen in the window, it's a bit unnecessary from the poker gods, if you ask me. All right, guys, there you have it. The 10 biggest pots that I played on the trip overall. Let me know in the comments your favorite ones, your least favorite ones, which ones I played well, I butchered, etc. Let me know in the comments. My favorite hand was the pocket jacks hand. Waking up with jacks after the all-in and the call. Really exciting. Unfortunately, couldn't hold, but it is what it is. So let's take a little look at results for the trip overall. I lost $15,001. Not ideal, but let's break it down a little further. 5-5 and 5-10 went really well. I played 2 sessions of 10-20. Didn't go the best, but like I say, it's only 2 sessions. And everything above that, I lost a decent amount of money in. Now, this is really standard when you're playing a bunch of different stakes over the course of a few weeks. It's inevitable that the higher stakes games will dictate how your trip goes. My bread and butter 510, I did really well. Everything above that, not so great. I did sell some action, and you know, the bigger the game, the more I sold, etc. So for me personally, I came out a small loser for the trip overall, but you know, not as bad as it looks on the face of it. This is really standard when you play a bunch of different stakes. How you run and how you play in those stakes, that dictates your trip. And this is the exact same for me online. Let's take a little look at my online results for the year. I won about 60 buy-ins. That's not too bad. I played 8 or 9 months overall. I was in America for a lot of the time playing live poker. Unfortunately for me, I took a bunch of shots at 2K and 5K and they didn't go that well. You know, I did relatively well at mid stakes and low stakes and things like that. But the higher stakes games, unfortunately for me, that was also all my own action, didn't go that well. And as mentioned, that dictates how your year ends up. Now, I am not naive. I know that playing higher stakes can be more difficult, particularly when you play online. The quality of regs are better, etc. But you know, when I was playing in America there, that 25, 50, 50, 100, the Thirsty Thursday, the games were great. They were really, really good, particularly that Thirsty Thursday. I just didn't run the best in those games. And as mentioned, that can dictate how your year ends up, how your poker career ends up if you don't run the best in those bigger games. Like I say, it is tougher to play those higher stakes games sometimes when you play online, but not so much when I was playing live. The games are really, really good. And I've got two options as a poker player now. Do I want to just sort of accept that it is difficult to get into the higher stakes games and just play mid stakes for the next 6 or 7 years and then retire? Or do I want to try and get my foot in the door in those higher stakes games, believe in myself, keep shooting my shot, and eventually make it stick? I've got the bankroll to withstand the variance. You know, I'm not, you know, the rolls on the table or anything like that. And you know, when I retire, do I want to look back and say, yeah, I played mid stakes for a few years and it was fine? Or do I want to say I got my foot in the door at high stakes, it was tough, but I managed it and we're able to make a lot more money? I'm going to do the latter, and if I die trying, then so be it. Like I say, the bankroll can withstand the swings. So let's keep going and not give up on the dream and sort of believe in ourselves in the process. So my goals for 2025, first things first, I want to talk about something that was very obvious to me. I played for 3 weeks in America in September, October. I came back and I released vlogs every week or so. And it was great. It was really well received. However, I was playing every day. I was playing 8, 9, 10 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week. And naturally, the quality of play deteriorated. I'm aware of that now. I wasn't aware of that at the time, but watching it back, I'm a little embarrassed about some of the hands that I played. So I'm going to run this back in February, and I'm going to go in with the intention of not letting that happen again, not getting tired, not getting, you know, sluggish and burnt out and stuff like that. One of my goals for 2025, the trip coming up and everything else, I want to play my A game. I'm a good poker player when I play my A game. Let's not let that standard slip. Let's play as well as we can for as long as we can and really give ourselves the best possible chance of winning as much money as possible by playing as well as possible. Goal number 2, this is pretty much an online goal. You know, I spent a lot of last year battling regs, playing 500 NL 3-handed in the hope that a fish sat down. I'm going to leave my ego at the door this year. Instead of playing that 3-handed 500 NL game, let's drop down and play a 200 NL game, even a 100 NL game. If there's 1 or 2 recreational players there, my win rate is going to be higher, my EV is going to be higher. So let's just drop down, swallow my pride, and play the softer games with more recreational players, which will result in a smoother win rate wherever possible. Goal number 3, I did just mention I'm happy to leave my ego at the door and play lower stakes. However, if the games are good, I'm going to continue to shoot my shot. I want to make it into the high stakes world, and I'm going to continue to do so. So if the game is good, I'm not going to shy away. If there's recreational players or players that I believe I've got an edge on, I'm going to continue to shoot my shot. It sucks when you lose at higher stakes games, but like I say, I'm not going to let that deter me from trying to play bigger whenever the games are good. Goal number 4, this is a lofty one. I am aiming for 50,000 subs on YouTube by the end of the year. That's going to be really difficult, but it's a very high goal intentionally so that I can try my best to get there. And if we do fail, then it's still pretty good. I'm going to do a lot of collaborations, lots of different types of content, much more consistent content. I've got this deal with Coin Poker, which is really great. It's going to really help me. So a big year on the felt, hopefully, but as well as that in terms of content creation, lofty goals. I want to work hard and I want to be one of the big names in poker vlog content. So that's it. That's my spiel. 2024 was okay on the felt. Off the felt, it was incredible. It really had a great year, and I really hope 2025 goes a little better on the felt, but continues to be just life just being absolutely fantastic. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's tuned in over the last year and indeed over the last few years, liked, commented, subbed, even the guys that regularly give me hate. You're still viewers. You're entitled to your opinion. Thank you for watching and tuning in and stuff like that. I am really grateful for everyone that that interacts with my content in any way. So I wish you guys the best 2025. Hopefully we win all the money together, all our dreams come true, and life is great. So that'll do it. Let's get to work immediately. Let's go 2025, big year ahead.